Now, I've already made a video about editing tricks that I've used in my videos, but today I'm going to be showing you how I speed up that workflow. Coming up. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Max. This is my YouTube channel. I try to post 2 to 3 times a week on this YouTube channel, so if you like videos about tech tutorial and lifestyle videos, then be sure to hit that big subscribe button down below, and I'd really appreciate it. So this video is part of a 5-part series that I'm trying out, so you guys can check out the previous 2. This is part 3 out of part 5, so I'll have the other 2 linked in the description down below. That every other day I'll be releasing a new video for it, so be on the lookout for that. But in today's video, I'm going to just be talking about how I speed up the editing process, so it is sort of similar to the other video, but I feel like this one does have other points that I want to mention that sort of differ, and I feel like a lot of people should know if you're just starting out editing your videos. But first off, I just want to give a quick overview of the things that I do while I edit my video, like the exact steps that I go through. So the first thing that I do when I edit my videos is to import the clips. Obviously that is the very most important thing. So I just take out the SD card from my camera, plug it into the computer. It should have a pop-up window in iMovie, then I just import it. It's pretty self-explanatory there. I don't drag and drop the files into an external hard drive. Maybe I'll do that in the future, and also I don't drag it into the Finder or the files because that just duplicates it and it's gonna take up more space on the computer. So after importing the clips, I will do a rough edit by dragging all the clips in. If there's just a talking headshot, I'll just cut out all the pauses and ums that are in the video. I just try to get the video down. For example, if it's a 12-minute talking headshot video, I can maybe get it down to about 8 minutes or so. That will make it a lot more entertaining, and you guys won't have to go through all the ums and pauses. After that, I will film any B-roll or add any B-roll that I have filmed during that time, slap it over the talking headshots or the A-roll, and that just adds a little bit more to the video. And then I'll add some more creative parts. So that is sort of the combined step, adding more creative parts, meaning like I can add some green screen overlays, or I can add text flying in from the side, or I can just add other things, transitions, my end screen template, my intro, more music like fading in and out, and just I feel like it's another way to look over your video. So at that point, I've looked up the video 2 times already, and then it's finally time to watch it over again. And watching it over again will enable me to find any other mistakes or anything that I may have missed in the previous 2 steps that I just want to add. And the final step is to export the video. So exporting the video, most of the time I export it in 1080p 60 frames a second on iMovie, and then I upload it straight to YouTube in the highest resolution possible. I don't really save it to my files. I should start doing that in the future, but for now I just upload it straight to YouTube to save some storage on the computer. So now actually getting into the tips, the first tip I have for you guys is to use keyboard shortcuts. No matter what editor you're going to be using, keyboard shortcuts are very important. For me personally, I'm going to be showing you guys an iMovie, but I'm pretty sure you can apply it to other editors. And keyboard shortcuts, once again, are very important because instead of clicking multiple times to get to that setting maybe at the top or somewhere in the editor, you can just do a quick keyboard shortcut from the keyboard. So right now I'm just going to be going over some really simple ones. So first is Control Z. That basically is undoing anything that you do. So for example, if you cut a clip and you didn't want to cut it, then you can just do Control Z and it'll undo that. And then after that, copying and pasting, I'm pretty sure you guys have used it. Control C and then Control V. Command C is copy and Control V is paste. That's good with clips. So if you need a clip, you just copy it and then you paste it somewhere else. And adding on to that, you can copy and paste adjustments like I've shown in my editing tricks video. You can do Control C to copy the clip and then Command Option V to paste all of the adjustments into a clip that you want, whether it be the color grading, maybe it's the cropped in zoom. I use it a lot in my videos, and I think keyboard shortcuts are just helpful. And then moving on, I don't know if it has in other editors, but especially in iMovie, I use Control B a lot to cut my clips. I'm pretty sure you can use a mouse, the MX Master mouse, you can use something to cut it, I'm pretty sure, but cutting it on iMovie is just a simple Control B. And to minimize and maximize the timeline, essentially what you can do is Control plus and Control minus. That helps a lot when you can see the audio waveforms a little bit better and just the whole entire timeline, so it can be either squished or farther apart. And this one's pretty simple, the spacebar to stop and to start and play. And also you can use the J, K, and L keys as well to play in reverse, pause it, and then go forward as well. I use those quite a bit. Also, there are just many others. These are just some various ones that I listed that I found personally myself, but if you search your editor and then you search keyboard shortcuts, I'm pretty sure a big list of them will come up. So for tip number 2, to help me minimize the actual A-roll shot or my talking headshot, what I do is actually focus on the audio waveforms. So if we actually go into iMovie right now, we have this clip right here of me. It was just in the previous video, part 2 of this series. And if we go into it right now, let's just make our timeline bigger. If we actually go by the audio waveforms here, we can just see there's like a huge pause right over here, and that's when I was looking to look at the script to actually see what I was going to say. So right here, this is the first take. Setting up before you press record for a video can be challenging sometimes. But Okay, so right there is a huge pause. So what I'll do is I'll press Control B, and then I'll go over here when the pause ends, and then a Control B again, and then just delete that clip in the middle. And then again right here, this is the first take, and this wasn't the best because I stopped right here and I had to look at it again. So what I'll do is actually just cut out that take and do Control B, delete that clip. But today I'm going to be showing you some settings on my camera as well as... Okay, and that was the second take. That was not good. I actually messed up in there. So now I'm just going to be cutting that part out. And once again, I'll just take out all of the bad takes and all of the ums and pauses. Don't go overboard with this, of course. This sort of leads into the third tip here. Don't go overboard with it. If there's just a really small pause, like for example, if we go right here, see this pause right here? Even though there's still audio right there, I'm still in the midst of saying something, so don't cut out little parts like right here, for example. Also, this little increment where there's a little pause, do not cut that out because it's just a natural way of talking, and sometimes in your speaking, you'll have those natural pauses, and I think it's just not a good idea to make it really choppy, because if the video is choppy, it'll look like this. Tip number 4 to help me stay organized when I'm actually editing my videos is to actually have the camera files really organized on my SD card. I would delete files from my camera that I don't need. So for example, on the SD card right now, if I have some files that I don't need, like a previous video that I filmed maybe a month ago, I'll delete those files from the SD card. And be sure to take this with a grain of salt. Don't go overboard, and don't try to just delete every single file. I would say keep the files from maybe the last week or so, just in case you may need them. But once a video has been uploaded for a couple weeks now, I would probably delete it afterwards. But before we get into the next tip, I just want to share my experience with this, because I actually was going too fast a couple days ago deleting my files. That obviously I learned a huge lesson from that, because I deleted some files that I thought were my downloads file that I duplicated from the SD card, but they were actually on the SD card itself. So I ended up deleting last video's files as well as some vlogs or other things that I had before, but I learned from that mistake. I just remembered, look twice before you actually delete your files, and it is really important to not delete so many files at the same time. So for the 5th and final tip I have for this video, I'm just going to be showing you what is my favorite thing when organizing my files and speeding up my workflow. So this is essentially my Finder right here. You guys are seeing it on screen right now. This is all the different folders I have. If you're on a Mac, this is what it would look like. There's different formats you can choose, like this grid format. I like to do it like this because when you click on the folder, it goes into that pathway to see what files are actually inside of it. Here I have the different folders: code, overlays, effects, project apricot files, which is what you guys are actually looking at right now. That's what I like to call it, project apricot, because it is my first project that I've been working on for an extended period of time. My podcast here, no copyright music. I have sound effects, easy access things that I like to just get easy access to, images for the channel, and then these are just unorganized right here. So we're going to be trying to organize those things there. So also I added emojis, which is really helpful because it makes it stand out, each and every single one. So code, that's just a keyboard there. Overlays and effects, that's just a sparkle. Project apricot, that's an apricot peach sort of thing. Podcast, there's a microphone. No copyright music, there's music notes. Sound effects, there's a sound thing. Easy access, there's a key. Images for the channel, there's a painting. So that's what I like to do. You guys can customize it yourself and just make sure it's really easy for you to locate. Now let's sort it into each individual folder. So first here, this is the camera shutter sound effect, and obviously it should go into the sound effects folder. So we dragged and dropped it in, and then right here are just DaVinci Resolve screen recordings, because I was trying to use DaVinci Resolve. Possible video about that in the future. I'll just leave that out for now. And then here are just some raw photos. So I'll just actually make a folder right now called photos. So here's a photos folder. I'm not going to add an emoji for now, but I'll drag and drop all these JPEGs in there right now. Puffin's commercial, I'll leave that out. I have a sparkle sound effect, so we'll put it in the sound effects area. And then here, right here, all of this music, these 5 music files, I'll just put into no copyright music, because you know I always use no copyright music in my videos. And then this is actually the screen recording I was filming earlier today, so I'll put that in project apricot files. So inside of it, I actually need, I put Puffin's commercial by accident. I'll make a folder called 3 out of 5 and then put it right in there. And you can make subfolders, which is really nice, and that helps you organize it even further. What I also like to do is sometimes when you download a file, for example, if it's like just random letters and numbers because it was a video file, what you can do is actually rename it. So for example, these sound effects here, let's go into it. So it says 10 free cinematic whoosh sound effects. So let me just rename it to something a little bit shorter and minimalistic that I can look back. I think I'll put SFX as sound effect, and I think using abbreviations definitely do help as well. Here's another one, cash register, so you guys can keep renaming it like that. I'm not going to go through the whole entire process in this video, and I like to drag it into my documents category on the side here to keep it really organized. So if you're looking into a good system like that for organizing your files, then be sure to use this system that I'm showing you guys with emojis, because I bet you guys didn't already know that you can add emojis for your folders like this. But essentially that was all I had for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed these 5 tips that I had for you to speed up your editing workflow. If you did get value out of this video and it did help you at all, please let me know in the comments down below. What was your favorite workflow editing tip out of this whole entire video? Let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching once again. You guys know what to do. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and be sure to watch out for the other 2 videos in this series coming out in the next couple days. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.